Welcome to The Clopen Effect, a retail podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us today. I'm your host, Meredith.
And I'm your host, Cass.
Let's have some fun.
Are we recording?
Hey.
Hi. Let's start recording because we're sitting here chit-chatting.
We're going to be releasing this in 12 hours.
Yeah. Happy Friday, everybody. It is now Thursday at 5:25 p.m.
I'm sorry. I was on a work trip in Texas all week.
I know.
So we couldn't record.
And I told you, I was like, don't work too hard. Have some fun.
And I didn't. I worked the entire time.
You're such a bitch.
I know.
You
7
never,
to 7 every day.
Never take my advice. I have great advice. I can't even take it myself, but that's besides the point.
You know what? I traveled alone this time. And so when I do that, I'll go do what I need to do. And then I get back to the hotel. Maybe I'll grab a little snack for dinner or something.
Yeah.
There wasn't much around where I was staying.
Yeah.
So I'd maybe walk outside, but it was 100 degrees out. And then I'd go back and I would just work on my computer.
Yeah.
So, I'd probably get up at 6 or 7.
You're so dedicated.
Start working, do what I need to do, go do the visits, visit people, meet with people, and then go back and do work. Because what else am I going to do?
Yeah, that's hard because everybody lived there, right?
Yeah.
So nobody was staying at the hotel with you or anything from the company.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was no dinners this time. And it just, I don't know. It was just one of those weeks where it was just all for work, which is totally fine. I'm exhausted though, but it's fine.
I feel like your flight was so quick on the way back.
You know what? An hour and 25 minutes.
Yeah.
That's it. There and back. It was quick.
Because
we sat longer on the tarmac waiting. Yeah.
I know I was working my ass off today throwing process load because, that's what I do. That's my life is lunch meat and hot dogs. And it was like you had sent Snap that you were getting ready to leave.
Yeah.
And then it was like, boom, you were home. And I was
threw
like,
another pack of hot dogs and I was
like,
home.
How long have I fucking been here? And then I'm like, wait, it's not even time to leave this store yet. Like that was quick. So I got good news yesterday.
Oh, what was it?
I don't have to go to the city anymore.
Oh, that's
Hallelujah.
So you hired and trained someone new that lives in the city.
Yeah.
And he took over all the city stores?
Yeah.
Amazing.
I mean, I do. It is still there's 2 that are still considered city.
Okay.
But I'm mainly staying in the suburbs. And I think they're going to hire one more person for our area. And then I'll be splitting Illinois and Wisconsin. I'll be going into both.
So I was just going to ask, you took over someone else's spot in Illinois in the suburbs then, and then either that person's gone or they went up to Wisconsin as well?
They got a new job. Yeah.
Okay.
So yesterday on my ride home was a fucking nightmare.
Oh no.
So I left late, and I knew better because I was
And this is from the city.
Yeah, I was deep
your last
in the
day
city.
in the city.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was pissed. I mean, I wasn't pissed, but I was laughing because if I got told in the middle of the day, oh yeah, you don't have to go to city stores anymore. I'm like, son of a bitch, I wouldn't have even came out
here today. Yeah. Call me in the morning.
Yeah, no shit. I need this news in the morning when I'm at 5 a.m. when I'm deciding where I'm going. But anyway, so I'm driving home and it's the 90-94 split. There's an accident there. It was 2 Stanley steamer vans in a car. They all collided. So that was a shit show. And I was like, you know what, Cass, who cares? It's your last day driving in the city. Who cares? You know?
Just keep, putting it
and
behind
then
you.
I get on my one favorite road that I like to take all the time. And there's 2 landscapers with wood chippers and a 6-wheeler in front of me. So, we're doing 40 in a 55. And I'm like, who cares, Cass? This is your last fucking day driving all this way. Who cares? Don't freak out. And I'm like, oh, damn it, go, So then we get past that. Then we get to this one particular stoplight where you have to either go left or right. And the first vehicle at the light is one of those huge wide wheel tractors that look like you could almost put a car under it.
Yes.
Well, guess what happened? His wheels aren't touching the sensors on the road. So we went through 3 lights and we're just sitting there. The line behind me, you couldn't even
you
couldn't see the end and you can see pretty far.
Wow.
And I was like, just fucking get me home, So then I'm like, okay, we got through that. It's fine. I'm 10 minutes from home. And I'm like, smooth sailing from here, right, Cass?
This is easy.
Smooth sailing from here. Then all of a sudden, everybody's shifting into the right lane in front of me. I'm like, what the fuck is going on now, you know? Well, it was so hot the last couple of days on 120, the road buckled.
Oh.
So there was a cop blocking the left lane so they could get these huge chunks of concrete off of the road.
Yeah, my God.
And I was like, I lost it. That was my breaking point. I was like, I fucking hate my life today. It took me 2 hours and 2 hours and 10 minutes to get home.
Oh my gosh.
When it should have taken me like an hour and 10 minutes, maybe an hour and a half.
Man.
I was flaming when I got home.
Not to mention gas prices are still up there.
Oh God. And it was so hot.
Yeah.
And it's like you have the air blasting, but the sun is so hot just blaring on you. It's like not even doing anything. And then here I'm bitching while I'm working in air conditioned stores and I have air in my car and like my husband works outside.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, but that was his choice, so.
He's got 363 days. Wait, how many days are in a year?
365.
360. So he has 363 days until he retires.
Oh my gosh.
I know. The countdown begins.
That's exciting. What's he going to do? Yeah, he stays busy.
You know what he'll do? He'll sit in the garage and drink beer. That's what he's going to do.
This is your life in 1 year.
And then I get to come home from work every day and be like, God, just sitting there drinking beer again.
It'd be nice if you came home to a meal and a clean house.
I mean, he's pretty good about cleaning house, so
yeah,
I won't complain about that. He'll do dishes.
Yeah.
He'll sweep
It'd
floors.
be nice if you came home and you didn't have to do anything. All the laundry's done.
I mean, if you're going to play the part of the bitch, be the bitch. I'm the working woman. You're the stay-at-home bitch.
So I was on my way to Texas on Monday morning, and I was also very positive.
Yes.
Because everything seemed very smooth. The flight was at
First
10.
red flag.
I got in my car. I filled up my tank. I had plenty of time. I grabbed a coffee. I'm like, oh, this is nice. Usually, like this morning, I get up very early. I like the really early flights.
Yeah.
Because no one's really there. There's nobody on the road.
Right.
I get to the parking quick.
Yeah.
You know, we have that pre-flight.
Yeah.
They take me over. I'm not hustling and bustling around.
You
Tons
can just take
of people.
your time. Yeah.
You know, most of the things around 6 a.m. open, and then my flight's at 7. That's what I did this morning. But you have to get up at 3 or 4 in the morning depending on where you are from the airport and all that kind of stuff. So I'm on my way. I get gas. I'm like, oh, this is great. You know, I'll get there by 8. My flight's at 10. I had to send off a report. So I was like, this is fine. Yeah, it was totally fine. But no one knows how to go through security.
In Texas?
In Illinois.
In Illinois.
In Chicago.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're saying there's 2 lines. You know, this is for pre-check.
They're saying
which
or
I
yelling?
have. Well,
Are they yelling?
They're kindly saying it.
They yell.
This is for pre-check. Please do not go in here unless you have pre-check. This is for the regular, which was very full because it was a later flight. Was my whole point. Is usually I go in the morning. You know,
there's nobody there.
But I have pre-flight or pre-check.
Yes.
So I usually takes 5 minutes at the most. You don't have to take any shoes off, any of that.
Oh, that's nice.
So if you don't have it, get that. It's
I want
really
that.
good.
I need that.
Yeah, and I travel so much now that it's just one less hassle.
Yes.
Except for when people don't read signs, or maybe there's a language barrier, or they just don't get it. So I had about maybe 5 families in front of me went into the TSA pre-check line.
And they didn't belong.
So they decided that, okay, fine. You know, they were just kind of sick of telling people. So they're running their IDs through. One's not going through. One's expired. I'm like, and you could tell that they had packed and planned this. Like they had the big suitcases, which, by the way, now thinking about that, why didn't they check them in? They were big ones.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was a mess. Like they just didn't know. Maybe they had never traveled before.
Let me intervene for a second because O'Hare is very different than any other airports, right?
I feel
most airports, you walk into the airport, you can visit restaurants, you can go to stores, then you go through security and get to your gate. O'Hare, they fucking shove your ass right through that security first,
that's true.
And then you go to all the restaurants and stuff.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So maybe it was a little confusing.
Yeah.
So, okay. But that was like, I'm watching people in the security, And because they had to do something different at the pre-check, because these people were not pre-check,
right?
People that I was going to be in line with were already walking to their gates. So I was like, I was just like.
And they didn't like, here, you go through.
Well, I'm just kind of standing there doing like the death stare, like, come on. Like, they need to go into the other lane, which, fine, it's whatever.
Or at least move them aside, let you go, and then deal with it.
Line or whatever, and she said, "Come on over." Okay, no problem. So I get to the gate. It was fine. Now let's talk about how people get on the planes. And you sent me a TikTok because I sent you a text and said,
"Isn't that
we
so
are
funny?
Talking about airline etiquette today?"
You said that, and boom, a TikTok came up.
Yes, it must have read our text messages.
It did,
which is kind of creepy. So
super creepy.
All right, so a little snafu, right? No big deal.
Yeah.
So I finally get to the gate, had no problem, got another coffee, sent off my report, called it off. They called off the groups, and fine. So I was in group 3, I think. I don't do first class.
Right.
I don't know, whatever. And I can, but I just don't. And so group 3, group 1, group 2 goes in. That's usually first class, whatever. So I get in there, and I'm in. Like, for some reason in this one, I'm like all the way in the back. So I drink a lot of coffee. I drink a lot of water. So I always have to use the washroom no matter how long the flight is.
Yeah.
So I like to pick an aisle seat so that I can get up, not bother anybody, not the movie theater. Like, excuse me. If I go, I can go. No problem. Go back to my seat. So I always pick that. So I had like 35C. So I was pretty far back there. I was pretty far back there. There was only like 10 more rows or whatever it was.
That TikTok was like,
me.
and if you know you're 33, don't be looking at 1 through 10. You know you ain't sitting there.
Yeah. So sure enough, and what's crazy is they had to check our bags because it was a full flight. They couldn't fit it all. So no one had bags. They had backpacks. So I get to mine. I sit down. I have no one in my row. I'm like, well, they told me this was full, but this might be nice. So I see people just standing there, and there's a mom and her young son. And then like 5 people behind that, she's trying to talk to maybe the dad or her husband behind her.
Yeah.
Now, meaning like he's at like the front of the plane still coming, and they were all the way in like 45.
Yeah.
So then she realizes, so the kid starts weaving in between people. So it's stopping people from doing what they need to do, right? Because everybody's trying to do something different.
It's so cramped on the plane.
And during this time, some guy gets up and he decides that he needs to look through his suitcase for something. So he's blocking everyone. And the flight attendant is, we're getting close to the time. The flight attendant's like, everyone needs to start sitting down. I'm not sure what we're doing here. Like, she even was getting frustrated. It was that long. It wasn't just me. So, and for me, I was already sitting in my seat, wanted to get off, wanted to fly on time.
Right.
But I, of course, was observing because I wanted to tell you all this. So I was like patiently waiting so that I could have more material. So this guy's messing around in his thing. He finally sits down. The family decides that their tickets are not together. Their seats are not together. The kid's all the way up at the front.
Oh my God.
The dad's all the way up, in the back with the mom. And so she's asking anyone, who's sitting here? Does anyone want to switch so the 3 of us can sit together?
Just sit down there and let everybody settle in.
So some guy on the other side of the aisle says, that's fine. This is me and my family. Where are you sitting? We have older ones. We'll go do that. Then they couldn't figure out how to get past each other.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So she's yelling at the kid, Sonny, come sit down. And then she's figuring out, she's yelling at her husband, who has already made plans with another family up at the front.
God.
And then no one could get past each other. They literally, no one wanted to say anything. They stood next to each other. So I finally stood up and moved in, and I said, someone needs to come in here so that they can pass. Like, I was like, I'm taking charge. I'm taking charge now. And they still weren't. Like, the guy comes over by me. Oh my God, he was stinky and sweaty. I was like, not you,
dude,
not you.
That's probably the worst part. So last time I went and saw Jay, I upgraded to first class, I think it was, for like $30. It was only like,
and we did that a couple years ago too.
I will. And I'm sitting there and I have the outside seat, which I generally like the inside seat because I never have to pee on the flight. Yeah, and then you have the window. Like, I can sit on the inside. I don't have to disturb anybody. And I can usually use my sweatshirt as a pillow, take a little nappy poo.
Yeah.
So this flight, I was sitting on the outside. So everybody's walking past, which generally, I don't care what number I am to board, I'll wait till the end. Because I don't want to just be stuck sitting on the plane, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm first class. I'm going first. I'm group 1. you get all the stank.
You do.
You get all
Everyone walks past
stank.
you.
And you're right at like crotch level. This chick walked past me and I was like, what the fuck was that?
Oh, no.
And I looked at the guy next to me like, that ain't me.
Yeah. He noticed too?
I don't know, but I wanted to make sure I made eye contact. Like, no, it was not me.
Yeah. Wow.
Sick.
Why don't they put a door in between? Why does the door have to be in front of the cabin so that, you know, the first class goes in and then everyone has to walk past first class? Because on my way home today, the flight attendant was trying to give everyone their breakfast and coffee because I also like to wait till the last, knowing that I'm an aisle.
Right.
I don't want to have to get up again for the other two people to sit next to me or however long the row is. So I'm thinking about that, and the guy is behind me holding coffee. I can smell the coffee, and he goes to reach, and I went to go not elbow, but I went to go like lift and I almost hit the coffee out of his hand.
Yeah.
So why isn't the door in between where first class could go up to first, and then all us other people
can go back? Okay. So my question also is how great was it during COVID when they would load the plane back to front?
Yeah, why don't they do that anymore?
And then unload it front to back. Yeah,
I think it's like Southwest or something like that. It's first come, first serve, right?
Yes.
I think it's Southwest.
Yes.
And so people usually do sit in the front.
Yeah.
But yes, why? I think, is it Delta that does that back to front? I know United doesn't because I just flew United this
they only did it during COVID.
Oh, I thought an airline still did that.
I don't know.
No,
Maybe
you're right. Maybe it is just because.
But that was like, hello, how come we haven't been doing this the whole time?
Yeah, I don't understand. Because, sometimes I'll talk to people in line. I'm not a very friendly person, but sometimes I'm like, what group are you? And blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And like they'll say, oh, well, I'm group 5. I'm 10, whatever. That would make sense, right?
Yeah.
But then like I was group 3 or 4.
And you were
and
all
I was
the way in the
35.
back.
So I had to walk past everyone that was already sitting.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't
understand it. Why don't they just seat rows 60 through 56 and then seat rows 55 through 50 and then rows 49 through, what I mean? Back to front. It makes sense.
Someone will tell us. Someone will text us tomorrow and they'll tell us all about it, I'm sure.
I just don't understand like why people want to get on the plane so quick.
Yeah. And all right. So
to our next story.
So we finally all get situated. Everybody sits down, and then someone has to use the bathroom. And you can hear the attendant say, we're getting ready to go. We're rolling backwards. Like, you need to sit down. I have to go. They allow him to go.
Piss in a cup, bro.
We had to pause the plane.
Are you kidding me?
They paused the plane. I heard her on the phone because I was way in the back, and she said, we have someone in the bathroom. They had to pause it because we just had to back up, and we were ready to go.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. I was like,
and people are so selfish. Like, you tell me you didn't have enough time in the airport.
I don't know. I don't know what happened there. That has never happened. I've never heard of that happening, but we had to pause. Then, we sat for a little bit and then, so then a girl next to me is FaceTiming someone and she's so loud. So she has her noise canceling headphones in so she can only hear her friend on her FaceTime, and I'm ready to take a nap. I nap on every plane ride.
I do
I'm
too.
like a small child.
Yeah.
Like as soon as we hit like 10,000, it goes ding ding, and we're at 10,000 elevation. I'm like out. I don't know why.
I try to fall asleep while we're taking off because you're at like perfect setback position.
Yeah, like reclined position, right?
And then I wake up snoring with my jaw hanging open and my chin down on my chest.
As soon as we hit 10,000 feet, I'm out. It's 5-10 minutes. It doesn't even matter if I slept 12 hours before that. I don't know what it is. It's probably like the astronaut in me because when they go up, they fall asleep. I'm kidding. I'm never going to the moon. Oh, gosh. So and then she's really loud and she's like, I know. And then she's like young. So her gossip and her troubles are like nothing to me. So I'm just like, please shut up.
She's like, oh my God, they were roommates.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then my mom borrowed my brush. Was like,
if you ever watched Vine, you know.
Oh my
God. And they were roommates, you know.
God. Unbelievable. It was unbelievable.
So I have a faux pas of my own on a plane. So me and Johnny had gone out to Vegas for a wedding. It wasn't our wedding. It was a different wedding. But we were flying standby, right? So Johnny's nephew works for Southwest, and he gave us buddy passes to fly. So, which is awesome because then you fly for free. But the only thing that sucks is you're flying standby.
Can you explain standby to me? I don't know I don't really know. I've never done that before.
Standby is like they put you on the list, and if there's open seats, they'll give them to you.
because someone doesn't show up or something.
Doesn't show up or it doesn't get booked. They basically, you are waiting. You are the last ones to board, and you're just sitting there waiting to see, like, is there any open seats?
Okay.
You know? So I had a middle seat, which I hate. I'm a big girl, so I hate sitting in the middle because it's hard for me to like in.
Yeah,
you know,
like you keep everything in, and then you're cramping.
I'm trying to not touch everybody and like let my legs go.
I don't like anybody touching me.
Yeah. So anyway, I was actually way at the front too, and I don't even know where Johnny was. We got separated. You know, they told us they gave us tickets. We went and sat in our seats. So I'm sitting next to this lady, and me and her just start chit-chatting, you know, and I'm like, oh, yeah, we were out, because now we're on our way home from the wedding. So I was like, yeah, we were out there for a wedding and blah, 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 and this, and we are just talking, you know. Vegas from Chicago or vice versa is like 3.5 hours, I think, something like that. And we're just killing time and getting to know each other. And she was, you know, she's a retired lady that lives in Vegas, but she was from New York and she was flying out there to see her mom and this and that. And we're just talking. And it was probably like 2 hours into the flight. And the lady sitting in front of us just turned around and was like, can you please talk quieter?
Really?
And you know how, like, when you're on the airplane, it fucks with your ears, you know, because they got to pop and stuff. And, like, so you can't really tell how loud you're talking. But I feel like me and her were both very loud talkers.
Oh, my gosh.
Like, not only did we learn about each other, but everybody around us learned about us.
Oh,
too.
my gosh.
So we just kind of like, oh, sorry. And we looked at each other and, like, just busted out, started laughing.
Oh, my gosh.
And then we were just like, so we tried to be quiet, but then we'd say something funny. We'd start laughing again. That lady in front of us was so fucking annoyed. You know?
Aww.
But, oh well.
So, I mean, is there a rule that a plane is like a library?
No.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
So all right, so I was mad that this girl was FaceTiming, but this girl was extremely loud. Like, I tried to take my 5-minute, 10,000 elevation feet nap. Yeah. And it was not good.
The last time I think I went and saw Jay, I think it was on the way back. And when I flew out to Daytona Beach, I was with a bachelorette party.
Oh, yeah.
And on the way back, they fucking followed me.
Yeah.
So on the way there, you could tell that, like, they had all been out the night before or something. Oh. It was an early flight, so maybe they were just tired, whatever. But this one chick was sitting, like, right in front of me, the next row up. And the way she was eating, I couldn't stop watching in horror.
Really?
And it was so bothersome to me. And she was eating, like those Andy Caps cheddar fries. Do you know what those are?
Yeah, I do.
Right? They're
I do.
like chips in the shape of French fries. And she just kept licking her fingers and, like, digging in the bag and, like, licking her finger. And I was so disgusted.
Oh, my gosh.
And, like, I know my sister has a problem with the way people eat, and that's never really bothered me. Yeah. Like, if you're a loud eater, I don't give, I don't really care. Like, it doesn't really bother. But that bothered me.
That's funny.
But it's weird. I think, it's just because you're in such close proximity of everybody.
Well, and by that time, you just want to get home. Yeah. Like, your vacation's over.
Yeah.
So, like, I was annoyed today. Yeah. Like, Monday, I was all right. Even though things were happening, I'm like, soak it all in. As long as we get there safely, the plane didn't crash, anything like that. I mean, the car rental, I even went there. Nobody in line. I'm like, do you have cars left? Why is there no one in your line? I went to Enterprise. There was a long line for Avis, a long line for Budget. I walked right up and got my car before these people even
What did you drive this time?
Oh, I just drove a Toyota this time. Yeah, it wasn't anything like a muscle car or anything. Yeah. You know why? With gas prices, even though it's $1 cheaper a gallon out there, I just wanted to just stay budget. I want to make sure I can keep traveling. And
I don't know if I ever told
the company's money.
Yeah. Yeah, you're so loyal.
I am.
Like they say, yeah, Meredith, go ahead, fly first class. And you're like, no, it's fine. I'd be like, fuck yeah, I'm flying first class. And I'm drinking champagne. I don't know if I ever told the story about Erica's 30th birthday. We went out to Clearwater.
Oh, nice.
And it was me and Todd and Erica, and then her 2 brothers came too. So Todd had rented like a Tahoe for all of us to drive around in. Well, her one brother was like, I'm getting my own fucking rental car. I'm getting a Mustang. We're going to go cruise around. And I was like, all right, cool. Yeah, let's do that. So we're waiting in line for the rental. And there's a couple in front of us. And the guy's going over like what they're renting and this and that. And he's like, okay, and we have a Kia Rio for you. And the guy goes, ooh, Kia Rio sounds exotic. And we just started laughing. I don't know if he was serious. I don't know if he knew what a Kia Rio is. It's
Probably
like
not.
The smallest fucking car ever. It's like a Geo Metro, except it's not a hatchback.
Oh my gosh, I remember those. Yeah. They're like little eggs with wheels.
Oh, we lost it. We were laughing so hard.
Oh gosh.
So can we talk about when the plane lands and what people do?
I'm going to talk about my ride home today.
Yeah.
First of all, and then absolutely yes, we're going to talk about it because So I get on the plane, and this has happened 3 times to me now. So I get on the plane, I go to sit down, and I get a whiff of really strong cologne.
Oh, shoot.
And it won't go away. So I open up my vent, and I'm having to blow on me, but then my lips are getting chapped.
Oh, shit.
And I feel like it's just blowing. You know, I didn't realize that it was the person, like, next to me, like her husband or whatever, you know? So I was basically just blowing his air into me. Oh, God. And so I was like, oh, my God. So then I cannot stand really strong smells. So I kind of start to sweat because I feel like I can't get oxygen. Yeah. And you know how humid and hot it gets in a plane?
Your throat all itchy
so
and you just want to cough.
Yes. So I just was like sipping on my water, which then again makes me have to pee. So luckily I'm on an aisle. But it was so strong. I thought to myself, I just want to tell everybody, you don't have to spray like your chest, your knees, your balls, your back, each wrist, you know, and all over.
Just need one. Just one.
Just one. Yeah. And depending on who you're with or what you're doing, it's either your chest or your balls. You know what I'm saying? Like just one spritz.
Just do the balls.
It was, I mean, my eyes were watering. I'm like, I'm going to start getting hives just because I'm panicking. And this is the 3rd time. The first time, I think I was coming back from Florida with you and Bestie.
I remember.
And I was in the middle, and the gentleman next to me was so strong, and I was so hot that I was like trying to calm myself from having a panic attack, and that never happened. Like I have like little bit like small like ooh, you know, like anxiety, you know. It was like a full blown like calm yourself down because I couldn't breathe. But yes, so the plane lands and drives in to the exit.
Sorry, my phone is ringing. I'm a terrible co-host right now.
And it drives to the exit or you know whatever to the ramp.
Yeah,
and as soon as it parks,
everybody jumps up.
Yeah, and the seatbelt, like, everyone jumps up. Now, I'm in, like, 22 this morning.
Yeah.
And the person next to me and all behind
is trying to get to the front of the fucking plane already.
It's not going to happen.
I
Why?
know. I know.
So I just sat there.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I had a set of balls in my face.
Oh, my God.
And then he would turn to talk to someone, and then it was his rear end.
Oh, God.
And then it was like, really? Why are you standing?
I don't understand. That drives me crazy more than anything on the plane. We all are getting off of this plane.
Yeah.
Okay?
I don't understand.
And there is a system. You let the row in front of you. I hate when people jump up from the back and like immediately like get in front of me.
Yeah.
So the last time I was on a plane, I was on the way inside seat and everybody jumps up and me and the person in the middle, we just like simultaneously looked at each other and just started shaking our heads. And I started laughing and she goes, where the fuck do they think they're going? You know? And I'm laughing so hard. So then luckily the guy across from us like got up, stood back and said, ladies, would you like to get up and get your stuff? Well, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
You know? We were far back too.
Yeah.
Like you're not going anywhere anytime soon. They haven't even like hooked up to the fucking gate yet.
Yeah, you don't even hear the door open. Yeah.
Oh, fucking drives me crazy.
I feel like it gets the whole plane real hot because then you feel like everyone's breathing on top of you because you're the one sitting.
Yes.
And, oh my gosh.
And I will like randomly, I'll see people like stuck way up front. They're stuck, and I'll stop. Do you guys want to? And they're like, no, it's fine. Just go. We'll just wait until.
Yeah, like we don't want to fight with it. And then you kind of tell that people like do a little couple elbows, like they're trying to fight a little bit.
Yes.
So that TikTok you sent, she said, when you're entering, be ready.
Yeah.
Don't be banging your bag back and forth, and be ready to put it up.
Put it up.
Know
sit
what
down.
seat you are, right? Like you were saying, if you're 35, don't be looking 1 through 10 or 10 through 20. Walk.
Just keep
going.
Just
keep
you
going.
know your fucking way back there.
Yeah. There's only one way, right? And it's back. It's back.
And I'll look at one side, and it's like even odd.
Yes,
so I'm like, if I know I'm 15, I'm like, 9, 11, 13, 15. Okay, here I go.
I saw someone get on the plane, go to the middle of the plane, and then pull out their ticket, and they're like, "Oh, I'm 7."
Oh my God.
So everyone behind them, he was, excuse me.
How can you not fucking know?
What? Why? Why are you not prepared?
I have my boarding pass on my phone, and I stare at it. And
Me
I go,
too.
15A. 15A.
Although
15A.
I did make a mistake, so my gate was 12C.
They fucking change them all the time.
No, my gate was 12C and my seat was 22C.
Oh no.
So I got to 12 and I'm like, this is full. And I'm like, don't say anything. You're reading your thing wrong. You're reading your ticket wrong. Keep walking. It's in the 2s.
I think you're in my seat. Wait, no, you're not.
So, of course, then I look at it, okay, 22C. All right, we're good. I know. I almost did. I was like,
that's so funny.
I said, oop. And then I'm like, oop. And look back.
Nope. That's so funny.
So then she says in that TikTok, don't be banging your carry-on back and forth. Walk it straight.
Which is very hard for me to do. Because I'm holding my bag in front of me, but my tits are squeezed together, and when I'm walking, my tits want to release.
You do just fine. You do just fine. The way that she was sharing it was with someone that just kind of, and then and then the backpacks, they only put it on one. I've gotten hit by a backpack before because they whip around talking to their friends.
Yeah, you got to put it on
both
both shoulders.
I just want to punch their backpack. Put it on both shoulders and walk straight. So then she says, put your suitcase, your carry-on up, and what does she say right after that?
Sit down.
Sit your ass down.
Sit the fuck down. If you need your laptop, there will be time once everybody gets on for you to hop up and get your laptop out.
Yes.
Or how about this? Have your laptop ready.
Yeah. Do you know what else I noticed? How many times do they walk back and forth holding garbage bags? Garbage?
Yes.
Trash?
Yes.
I think they say trash. Trash. Do you know, I got to Texas on Monday and started walking to the front. The place
Garbage
was a
everywhere.
disaster.
Yep. They don't give a fuck.
Are you kidding me
People
right
don't
now?
give a fuck. They don't
What
care.
is wrong? What is wrong? Now, and I wouldn't say this has now happened in the past couple of years. This has always been like this.
It's always, yeah.
But
now we notice
more. Who do you
more.
think you are that you're, they come around and they say trash at least 4 times. I got woken up from my nap this morning 4 times.
Yeah.
Trash. Throw your shit away.
I know.
All right. So because we wanted to talk about this, I found 10 ways to practice good airline etiquette.
Good. Let's
so I think a lot of
the
this
fucking word.
So I think if you're gonna go on a vacation,
can I guess what one is? I bet one of them is take a shower before your flight.
Probably. Let's find out. You want to go 10 to 1 or 1 to 10?
Go 10 to 1.
All right.
I want to know the number one last.
All right. Oh, that's a good one then.
It's probably
All right.
the most important.
Number 10. Don't escalate a conflict.
No.
So good.
Especially on a plane. Especially if you're in the airport and you haven't even boarded yet, you start bitching at people. Mm-hmm. You ain't going nowhere.
Yep.
I've seen it once. Renting a car.
One person said something, another person said something to them, and then we had a triangle of people fighting. And then you're like, and now we're stuck on a plane with 3 guys that are pissed at each other.
Yeah.
Terrible. So it says if another passenger is behaving badly, don't get into an argument.
Yeah.
Just in most cases, you should notify a flight attendant, follow the directions of the airline staff. Just don't be that person. Number 1, don't start a conflict.
I do like when the people get removed from the plane and everybody claps, though, because it's
I've never had that happen. Have you had that happen? No, I've never seen that. I've seen the fights.
I'm going to knock on wood.
Yeah.
Because I don't want it to ever happen.
So it says don't escalate. Don't even start one. Yeah. I mean, how terrible is it that you have to complain about something on a plane?
I agree.
Are you kidding me? And then they can't do their job, the flight attendants, right? They can't do their job.
Now I'm not getting snacks, motherfuckers.
Yeah,
because you're
thanks
fighting.
a lot. No waffles for me. Or what do they call one of those?
Stroop waffles? Those
no
are the
coffee
best.
and waffles this morning. Number 9 says watch your alcohol. And I think
I
I've
never
already
drink on planes.
I usually don't either. Number one, I don't want to have to go to the bathroom any more than I should. And I feel like I have to stay hydrated with water, knowing that I'm probably going on vacation. I mean, if it's a work trip, then I have stuff to do as soon as I get there anyways.
Right.
So I usually just drink water. I know some people have to have a drink before they get on a plane to calm them.
Right.
I totally get that.
They need a Xanax and a vodka.
Yeah.
When I flew to Costa Rica, we flew first class there and back, which was fucking phenomenal. But I did drink. I had champagne when we went there.
Yeah, I would say that's fine. It just says be aware that you aren't allowed to consume alcohol that you bring on board.
Yes.
And that airline staff are prohibited from allowing on board anyone who appears to be intoxicated.
Yes.
We just, don't be that guy.
So did you know though? Okay, so you can have a quart bag with as many like 3 ounce liquids as you can fit in it.
Right.
So you can fill a quart bag with those little mini bottles, get through airport security, then just buy soda, Red Bull, mixer, and then pour your own airport drinks.
Okay.
And then, but you're not supposed to drink them on the plane.
This is legal or illegal?
It's legal.
Oh, it's legal.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not supposed to drink them on the plane. I've seen people do it.
Well, who knows what everybody has in their Yetis or their, everybody
they'll be like,
oh yeah, tumblers.
Can I have a Sprite with a glass of ice? And then they're like, wait for the lady to walk away, and then
you can hear it.
Crack open one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But don't be a dick about it. Don't ruin it for everybody, assholes.
Yeah, don't ruin it for anyone. And honestly, I mean, if we're all saving money here, it's pretty expensive.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
Remember we were drinking those Tito Red Bulls at the airport?
Yeah, like $12.
I think it was more than that. I think we get one round for me, you, and Bestie was like $37.
Oh, well, we got doubles.
Oh, yeah, we were drinking.
But we weren't on the plane.
That was before we got on vacation.
All right.
That was a good trip.
Number 8, control the kids.
This
is a tough one for me. Go ahead.
Yeah,
yep, go ahead. What do you think?
You can only do so much. What do you want them, like, to suffocate them? You want them slap them around? If a kid is not enjoying the plane, he or she is not going to enjoy the plane.
Right.
I have always tried to help whatever I can. Like, hey, I have some snacks. Would they like some snacks? Or do they want to come sit over here? I'll switch. I've always tried to accommodate kids because that fucking sucks.
Yep, it does. It's tough. And you know what? Kids will do what kids will do. That's it.
That one flight I had, it was me on the inside, and then it was kid, mom, and then kid, dad.
Wow.
All the way across the aisle. And I was like, fuck. Those kids were so good.
I bet.
And I was like, do you guys have peanut allergy? She's like, no. I'm like, I have Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yeah.
I was like, pass them around. These kids are so fucking good.
Yeah. Well, you usually find something that you can entertain with. Like I think I know a friend, she has 3 girls and they were very high maintenance and she knew it, but she still wanted to take her vacations, go on cruises.
Right.
So that she would have them pick something out at a store and say, when we're on the plane, this is what you get to play with. So they were so excited.
Yeah.
Sit down. We're going to open it as soon as the plane takes off, knowing that it was like a 3-hour flight.
Right.
And the games were just about 2 hours, I would say. She said by the last hour, they were ready to run up and down the aisle.
Yeah.
But it entertained them. So I thought that was a really good idea.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that mom had coloring books, crayons, all sorts of shit for those kids.
There was a young baby on board on the way on Monday, and obviously he woke up from a nap, or he or she, I'm not sure. Blood curdling screams.
Shit, yeah.
And the people behind me, they were like, oh my God, complaining. I'm like, oh, shut up.
It's a fucking baby.
I'm like, I'm remembering you more than the baby crying with your complaints. So
I never, I always look at them with what do you call it? My eyes are very understanding. I try to what can I do to help?
Compassionate.
Yeah.
This one's another one that I'm not sure about. I don't do it, but it says think before you recline. I never
recline.
It. Okay, so I never do.
I never recline.
I'm fine sitting straight up. I don't care.
Rude
I
as
can
shit.
handle it.
I don't think those chairs should recline
anyways. Back a long time ago, I remember they used to recline a lot.
Yeah.
And someone would have the person behind would have their tray. And it would go into their chest. That's how much they used to recline. I remember that from so many years ago, being young and flying, seeing this happen.
Why would that even be an option?
Right. I know. And I know some people, they're polite, the few people that they said to put their seats back up, I swear they were only back 2 inches.
Yeah,
but sometimes that kind of
much.
makes a difference,
It does.
Depending on what you're doing or people working.
I never recline.
I see people putting their laptops on the tray, so then if someone leans back, then they're trying to type.
Yes.
But so this is to each their own, I feel because the seats don't go back as far. You never know what the other person. So it actually goes both ways, I guess. You know what I mean? It just says to be mindful
I think it's rude.
of how your behavior affects other people. Like before you recline your seat during like a lunch or a break or a snack or something, make sure the person doesn't have coffee or, you know what I mean?
On their tray.
I don't know. Maybe they should just tell them not to recline.
I feel like the seats shouldn't fucking recline.
Yeah, people might be disagreeing with us right now, but
Doubt it.
So this happens to me every single time, and I've been flying a lot the past couple years, and so have you. Don't bring stinky food on board.
But
what would be considered stinky food?
I don't know. Maybe something real spicy.
Yeah.
Or
like I've smelled McDonald's. I wouldn't call that stinky food, but it's definitely like greasy smell.
Right.
You know, so if you had a little bit of a stomach ache, if you were nervous about flying, maybe bringing that on, you'd be like, ugh.
I feel like we never fly international. That's probably more of an issue on international
we will be, but
flights.
Yeah. We'll have to circle back here and talk about it.
Yeah.
But okay. Give the middle passenger a break. Let that person in the middle seat have the armrests. That's really the only thing that middle person has.
Yeah.
They don't have the view of the access to the window or the aisle.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I hate being in the middle. And I do, whether I'm on window or aisle, I'll lean that way to give that person space.
Now, I had this happen. Someone sat in the middle. How do you feel like when they have the armrests, but they're maybe a little bit bigger, so their arms are like actually over the armrest and into your spot? That bothered me.
I'm fat, so I'm not going to complain about that.
Well, it's not a complaint, but I guess it is like, right?
You know, because I think of like a muscly person.
That's what I'm sorry. That's what I meant. Like big. Like he was tall.
Yeah.
He was just big. Like his hands were big.
Fit.
Yeah. See, that doesn't. I mean, it doesn't bother me. But for some reason, the way he was sitting, like kind of back and like these are mine. I was like, scoot over just a little bit.
I feel like sometimes muscly guys, like their muscles are so big, they just
like their lats or whatever. They can't put them down. That's
anymore.
True. That's true. I mean, I sound like I'm complaining about everything, but you know what? When I'm on a plane, I don't say a word. I just notice things.
We're just Judge Judy's in our head.
In my head. Like I'm telling you right now, I'm the easiest person to travel with. I never complain about anything. You know,
we don't complain until we get home from vacation.
Yeah. I just don't. I would never say anything to anybody. Like I don't stare. Nothing.
I stare. I definitely stare.
No.
Like I was staring at that girl eating her chips, and I was disgusted.
Oh gosh. I mean, things bother me, but I just sit there like, okay, you know what? It's only 2 hours. This is fine. You know, if she's got to FaceTime her mom really loud, that's fine. Or if he's got to have the armrest and half of my seat, totally fine. If his hand needs to be on my knee because he can't fit, totally fine.
My God.
The one guy that spilled his double vodka on me because the plane moved around, he wasn't good, totally fine. Like, I don't complain. I remember talking about that last year. He got a double vodka and he was sitting there with a nice glass and he was drinking it and he was so dramatic because he didn't like turbulence and he went to go reach up to grab the seat in front of him because he was panicking and hit his vodka into me and I had a crotch full of double vodka. And he's like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah. And the whole thing was in my lap.
At least that don't smell when it dries.
You know, it didn't. And it dried really fast.
Yeah.
And even then, I didn't complain.
Oh, fuck.
This one says be sensitive to your seatmate, but I feel like we kind of hit that.
Yeah.
Like middle seat, window, whatever, you know. So don't hog the overhead bins.
I was going to say, wait, before you move on.
Yeah.
Be what to your seatmate?
Sensitive.
So if they have their, what do you call those, ear pods in? Don't try to fucking talk to them.
Right.
Or if if you sit down and you say, hello, and they just go, don't talk to them. Yeah. They don't want to talk. Mm-hmm. But if you sit down and say, hello, and they go, oh, hi, then that's your
this morning, there was a couple. I think they were married or on their honeymoon because I heard them talking about their pictures that they were taking. And I sat down, I said, good morning. And they said, good morning. And she kind of switched her hip over and kind of turned her back away from me. Like, that's it. You're done, bitch. Okay, I'm going to talk over here.
Don't look at my man.
No, it wasn't like that. Just like she was not going to have a conversation with me. Like, oh God, she's too cheery at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, on to the next one. What was the next one?
Good morning.
Don't fucking talk to my man.
Wasn't like that.
She's like, shit, this chick is beautiful. She's totally going to take my brand new husband away
you're
from
my favorite, but no. Don't hog the overhead bins.
Oh, yes.
I have another example.
Yes.
Gosh, this week was just full of examples. This woman decided to bring a wrapped painting art something.
As
she
her
carried
carry-on?
it. She carried it. Well, no, she had her carry-on and she had a...
Why would they let her do that?
It was all wrapped in like the paper, brown paper.
Right.
And so she goes and hands it to someone. Now, if it's wrapped in brown paper, it's probably expensive. It had like, it looked like it had like an auction number on it. I don't know. She hands it to somebody else and she goes, can you see if that can go up in there? So I would call that hogging.
Yeah.
Like she had her backpack that she put up there. So basically she was taking up 3 spots.
First of all, your backpack goes underneath the seat in front of you.
It was very, very big though. It was one of those like hiking backpacks that would not fit underneath the seat. There's no way.
I would call
her a hog of overhead bins.
I bring a very small carry-on that I know will fit, not horizontally, but vertically.
Yeah.
And then my backpack. That's all I bring with me. And then I usually bring a hoodie, so I have a pillow. I don't even ever wear it. I just need it for a pillow.
Yeah, yeah. You ever get those neck things?
I don't. I should.
I've never had one.
Because I wake up with my mouth hanging open.
Yeah, I did that this morning for sure. I kept waking myself up. I'm like, oh, close your mouth. All right, number 2, greet the flight attendants.
Always.
Always.
I always do.
And sometimes the pilots are out there, so I say hi to them too and thank you and keep us safe. And
yes. And I always say goodbye, thank you.
Yeah, me too.
Have a great rest of your day.
Yeah.
Safe travels.
Like I feel like you would say hello to anyone that,
right.
you know, like wait staff or
exactly.
a hostess or anything like that. So why wouldn't you say good morning and hello to someone that's going to be giving
serving
you a snack and serving you? Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, I always say hi and bye to
them. You know,
them.
and they don't get tips. I wonder if that's like the only customer service type besides in retail that don't receive tips.
Probably.
I mean, maybe they do. Maybe they do.
Maybe they do. Yeah. Maybe
I never even
first
thought
class,
about that.
maybe we'll give them tips.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, and I feel like when I went to Fort Lauderdale, like when I was like 18, so we're talking like 80 years ago, I feel like we got drinks on the plane, and I feel like my aunt did tip them when she paid. Because, you know, back then, I mean, still you have to pay for alcohol on a plane.
Oh,
but
sure.
Like, you know, so I feel like my aunt did like buy drinks and then like tipped them. So I don't know.
You know, maybe I just don't know because I never get anything.
Yeah, I never drink.
I bring my own
I
snacks.
usually don't get anything.
I don't either.
Like I'll get their stroopwafel or cookies or whatever, and then I don't want nothing to drink. I got a bottle of water with me.
Unless I'm like really hungry, I'll get like pretzels. But like today I got coffee because I was tired, but that was it. But that was complimentary.
I never drink coffee on the plane because I heard like so long ago that they never clean the tank that they put
good.
Like, the water.
You know what? That would explain my stomach ache this afternoon. Perfect. Never again.
Eric always drinks coffee on the plane too because he'll fly down to Texas and back in one day. You know, pick up his son.
Yeah.
He flies down, picks him up at the airport, turns around, gets on a plane, and comes back.
Yeah,
you know, because his son is like 4.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, and the coffee on the plane. I was like, you drink coffee on the plane?
There's got to be some kind of cleaning process.
Gross.
Someone tell us.
Sick.
All right, what do you think number 1 is?
Don't put your feet up.
Oh.
Don't put your bare feet up.
Yeah, yeah.
I've seen so many videos and stuff of people will shove their feet between the window and the seat, their bare feet. So the person's just like sitting there and it's like shoulder height, feet are right by their fucking face.
Please do not take your shoes off on a flight.
Sick.
Anything that you're closed in,
yeah,
no shoes should ever come off.
Right.
Like my feet were getting, after that coffee of the bin that, or the carafe that wasn't cleaned, my feet started getting a little swollen. And I was like, oh shoot. So I just unzipped the back of my shoes. I had like little sandals on, but I did not take them off.
No.
All right, so that's a good one. That should be like number 1.
Yeah.
But number 1 is be prepared.
Well,
Be prepared.
Like you said that one person had an expired license. How do you
know what
that?
the first line is? This is especially true at airport security.
Yeah.
You know you're going to have to take your shoes and jacket off. Well, this is before pre-flight or whatever.
Yeah.
But or the what is it called?
Pre-check?
Yeah, pre-check.
TSA
Thank
pre-check.
I don't know why I just drew a blank. I'm tired. I've been up since 4. So don't wait to put your bag on the belt before you start doing those things and hold everybody up, which everybody holds everybody
every
up.
time. And they're going, whose bag is this? Whose bag is this? And they still haven't even come through the fucking security line yet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. One girl, she walked through. And they said, no, get her back. So then it was like someone had to get her back to get her back. It was like, get her back. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And it was because he didn't like something was in her bag or whatever, didn't like the way she put it on there. I was like, oh my God.
I try to be very prepared, like easy slip on and off shoes.
Yeah.
I shove everything into my backpack. I have my phone and my ID in my hand, and I just like put my backpack in a tray, put my phone and ID in that same tray, throw my shoes in another tray, and then push my fucking carry-on, push it all through at once.
Yeah, you don't have to do any of that in pre-check. You just put everything in your bag.
I need that.
It's perfect.
I need that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Didn't you say it costs like $100? How much is it?
I don't remember.
No.
$80, $40?
$80?
It's not a lot.
I mean, it's worth it if you travel a lot, you know, so.
So, all right. So listen, be prepared. Don't be that pain.
Don't be a douchebag on the airplane, please.
You do not come first. They have to get everybody on that plane at the same time.
It's just the me mentality.
Yeah.
Everybody
really
is about themselves. I was laughing the other day because I was talking to this lady, and ironically, her name is Karen, and she's not a Karen.
Yeah.
I feel bad for people who are named Karen that are not Karens. That's got to be terrible. But, you know, she's one of the workers at one of the stores I go to, and I go, oh, hey, how's it going? She's like, it's been a fucking shit show of a day, you know? And I was like, well, I'm going to straighten up this area for you so you won't have to worry about that. You know? Oh, thank you, you know? And we're just kind of chit-chatting, whatever, and she's just kind of bitching about customers. Like, customers have been, like, real, like, brutal and shitty lately this and that. And I go, yeah, my favorite is when they leave the cart, like, outside of the cart corral. Like, that's the simplest, like, self-governing thing you can do. And you just showed the world that you could not live without rules.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're the type of person who has to have these rules in place, because if it wasn't there, you wouldn't fucking care, you know? It's so frustrating. I said sometimes I'll walk up, they'll push it up on the curb, and I'm walking towards the store, so I just grab it like very
aggressively.
Yes, and I stare at them the whole time I'm doing it. Like, I want to make you feel uncomfortable.
You know, the effort that it takes for them to put their foot on the back and like lobby it up onto the curb.
Yes.
Those extra calories could have just been walked to a corral to make it easier for everybody.
That is literally like 3 cars down.
Yeah.
There's one right fucking there, you know?
Man, we did a lot of bitching this hour.
I know. Felt good. Felt good to get it all out.
We were very aggressive and angry this hour. But it's true.
Fucking driving,
I've
man.
been wanting to just, you know, if you're listening to this, please think about all this stuff, you know, especially if you're going to be boarding an airplane.
Just be considerate of other people.
Look around you. It's not all about you. Yeah, it's not all about you.
The world does not fucking revolve around you. You may have problems, and I feel for you on that, but other people also have issues, you know? It is not all about you. I'm sorry. You're having a bad day.
Yeah, right. Our 10 ways to practice good airline etiquette was from arp.org.
Oh.
Yeah.
The AARP.
I forgot to mention that in the beginning.
For the old peeps.
I got one more story, and it's a Starbucks story.
Ooh.
So I was in Texas, and I found a Starbucks that, very lucky, was only like 2 miles from the hotel.
Nice.
So I was like, perfect. They were busy. So I was in line, and I was thinking about like the meeting that was coming up, and you know, I gave myself like an hour to get to the store, even though the store was only 15 minutes away, because you just never know what's going to happen. You get lost, you're in a new city.
Walk in, get prepared.
Yeah, that's all, and just, you know, use the washroom or whatever. So I thought, you know what, I have plenty of time. I'm going to start at Starbucks. Stop at Starbucks. Hello, I need Starbucks right now. And so I'm standing in line, and they're fiddling around with the cash register, and I'm trying to be like happy,
patient.
And I'm just trying.
I'm trying to be patient here.
I must have been, speaking of like never says anything or just like stares or whatever, I must have like looked like I was like about ready to be done, because it was like every person that came up had some crazy order, and then they couldn't really, like, something was going on at the register, or they were training someone. Totally fine, but it was like forever. And I'm like, okay, once again, this is a privilege. You're spending $6 on coffee. Quit your bitching in your head, right? So my face must have shown what I was thinking.
Oh, shit.
And must have been the manager, looks up, and he looks right at me. There's 10 other people in line.
Yeah.
He looks right at me, and he goes, I am so sorry for the wait. He goes, we just have to manually type credit cards in for some reason.
Oh,
it's not taking. And he like shook his head and looked at me, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm totally fine. Like,
you must have had some resting bitch face.
Oh my God. And now that I got Botox, nothing moves. So it's like I have to walk around with a smile now. Because
give me an angry face. She just squinted her eyes. That was it.
So I was thinking it had to be that.
Your brows did not move.
Money spent right. I know, just my eyebrows go.
I'm crying.
So I'm thinking that's what happened. God. And and I forget now that we don't have to wear the masks. I think I probably like dropped the lips down a little bit. But I truly was like, I was frustrated, but I wasn't trying to show it.
But you were just like in your own head.
I was in my own head thinking of other things as well. Just kind of like, come on, let's go.
If I know I gotta wait, I'll just space out.
Yeah, and I think that's what I was doing finally at that time. But then he like caught me. Like I almost kind of like tried to blink my eyes and raise my eyebrows. And I was like, oh, I'm fine. I'm totally fine.
And he's like, bitch, your face ain't moving though.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, it's the Botox.
Oh my God, that's fucking great. I am crying.
Oh God. So funny. But they were great. It was funny. I was like, no, I'm totally fine. So
well, I'm glad you're back from your trip. I missed you.
Thank you. Yeah, I missed you too. It was a long week.
And I can't wait. 1 week from tomorrow.
Is what?
My birthday!
Yay! Your 30th, right?
My 90th.
Aww.
And Mom said she wants to come out.
I am so excited about that.
So
I know you texted us.
Yes.
Girls' night.
Yeah, so I'm really excited. And I told Erica, too, if she'd like to join us.
Oh, my gosh. We'll have to make some plans next week.
Yes.
So then I'm sure Johnny's going to want to spend time with you. Is that the Saturday then?
What? It's my birthday, not his.
You'll decide if you go out with him.
We already did stuff for his birthday. It's my birthday.
Cool. We got you all weekend. I'm so excited. So you have then, it would be 8 more days then for your countdown? Are we counting?
Sure. I gave up, dude.
That's right. You did.
I lost count. I had 2 number 8s. Bessie told me it was day 30. I went with it, but that was like a couple days ago. I have no idea what day it is now. I just know my birthday is coming and my cups are less and less, and I'm going to be so sad when my cups are over.
Oh my gosh, you've gotten lottery tickets.
Oh my God.
Scrunchies,
it's
clips.
Been so much fun. I used
polish.
My clips
yesterday. You got 2 polishes, right? Oh my God.
I did.
And you have the one on your toes now.
I got one on my toes now, and I'll probably take the other one up to the cabin and do my toes again.
And that's blue. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't do your hands, right? Because sometimes you have to work in.
Sometimes I do. Like my nails are actually, I have some right now. So I was thinking about it. Actually, on the way home today, I was driving and I was like, I should paint my nails.
Yeah.
So, but then, then I run process load and
you just, yeah. Oh, that's so exciting. Yeah, it's going to be a fun weekend next weekend.
Yep. I can't wait. And then we have cabin after that. Yay.
Yes. Then you have vacation. That's nice. But you drive up there. You don't have to fly.
Correct. It's 5 hours.
Yeah.
My butt's going to be sore. I really think I need to get a pillow for my butt.
Oh, yeah. There's cushions and stuff for sure. What do you take? Your car?
Yes.
Oh, very nice. That's
well,
perfect.
Me and Johnny will be going separately because
that's right.
He's probably going to go up before I do.
That's
I only took off Wednesday. So, Wednesday afternoon I took off. So that's when I'll be heading up there. But his daughter is going to ride with me up there. So I will have
someone to talk
to.
Perfect.
Yes. Because that kind of kills me when I'm in the car alone by myself for 5 hours.
Yeah.
And it's like hard to stay awake.
Oh, sure.
And like our friend just came up from Louisiana. Hi, Megan. And she said she drove 13 hours and only stopped 3 times. And I was like, I drive up to the cabin. That's 5 hours. And sometimes I stop 3 times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I got to pee once. And then I like to fill up my gas tank once. Yeah. And then once I just need to like
stretch.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Stop at the gas station again for snacks or something.
If you're in no hurry, that's the way to do it. I mean, they say you're supposed to kind of stretch out every couple hours. Yeah. I know people, they go down to Florida and back and they just go, it's like 6-7 hours. They'll only stop when they need gas or whatever. So
I can't do it.
Yeah, I get too crampy, but
I don't even get crampy. My eyes are so tired.
Yeah, like you just need to move around.
Especially if I go if I have to work all day and then we don't leave until maybe 5 o'clock at night. I'm not getting up there till 10 or 11.
Oh gosh,
my God.
That's a long day.
And it's so dark out there. Mm-hmm. Like it's kind of terrifying to drive.
Yeah, but you know where you're going.
I know, but it's lots of animals.
Yeah.
I mean, there's bears up there. There's deer. There's bald eagles. Yeah. There's all sorts of shit up there.
Oh gosh, people love camping. Like this is it. This is the time now where everyone starts camping, you can't get a hold of someone because they're somewhere.
Yes.
You know, like I'll text some friends and they'll say, "Oh, sorry, we were up wherever for the weekend." You know, they'll write you back on Monday. I love that.
I know. Bessie's like, our streaks are gonna end because you're gonna be at the cabin because I have no phone service up there. I mean,
know, but that's amazing.
I should probably make a little more effort and like take a walk. I could walk out to the road.
Take a walk, but don't bring your phone with. Enjoy it. I know. We're constantly on our phones.
But what if I see the American bald eagle while I'm walking?
That's true.
I gotta have my phone.
How do you know it's American?
I don't know. No. It's the American bald eagle.
All right, everyone. Fly safe.
Yes.
Camp safe.
Yes.
And we'll talk to you next week.
Happy birthday to me soon. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Happy Friday.
Thank you. Talk to you next week. This podcast is brought to you by NameTag Productions, LLC. Entire podcast, unless otherwise stated, written by the hosts. Drums, written and performed by my son, Steven. The Clopen Effect, a retail podcast. If we have to be all in this together, we might as well make it fun.